Hi YouTube. This video deals with pushing or pulling MC cable through metal studs. If you ever worked in the electrical field and you had to push or pull MC cable through metal studs, you know how difficult it could be. You know how annoying it could be and how much time it can consume. I would like to share with you something I've learned about pushing or pulling MC cable through metal studs, which could make that process easier. But before we get started, I need to speak on the metal studs. Metal studs are extremely dangerous and they can cut you. So if you're going to work with metal studs, you must wear gloves. I have on my gloves for this demonstration. And you must wear Kevlar sleeves to protect your arms. I have long sleeves on. I don't have Kevlar sleeves, but I do have long sleeves on. So you'll need to have a way to protect your arms. Kevlar sleeves or long sleeves. And you will definitely need a way to protect your hand. You should always wear gloves. So let's get started. So what I have here is a piece of MC cable. So the outer part of the MC cable is a metal jacket. This is the outer part of the MC cable. That MC cable jacket is made up of a spiral. This is a spiral. And this spiral has several joints in it. So these are the joints of the spiral. Now, the best way to push the MC cable is to push with the spirals. This direction is pushing with the spirals. This direction is pulling against the spirals. And what happens when you pull or push against the spirals, the joints here tend to get caught up in the metal stud. But as long as you're pushing with the spiral, the joints will not get caught up in the stud. I'll demonstrate that. So I'll come over here and I'll push with the spiral. Look how easy that flows as long as you're pushing with the spiral. But when you push or pull against the spiral, the problem we have is when we pull or push against the spiral, the problem what we run into is these joints here, they tend to get caught up in the hole in this, get caught up in the hole of the metal stud. So you want to push with the spiral to make the MC cable flow through the stud. And another thing I've learned over the years is if you push the MC cable in at an angle, it moves pretty fast and it does not get caught. I'll demonstrate that for you. So notice is when you pushing it rather than push straight in, if you push at an angle, the MC cable will easily move in. It will flow easily rather than pushing it in straight through. There again, if you push it in straight through, make sure you push with the direction of these of the spiral. That may not always work due to the fact that this stud may be turned in the opposite direction from that stud. So pushing with the spirals may not always work, but pushing it at an angle always works. So rather than push it straight in, push the MC cable in at an angle, and it'll always go in. It will always go in. One other thing I want to add is sometimes these holes here, they don't always line up. In this video, in these particular studs, they line up. Sometimes you may have a hole here and you may not have a hole there. And you may need them to line up. Or there may not be a hole in the stud at all and you may have to knock out your own hole. If you choose to knock out your own hole, if there was not a hole in this stud and you choose to knock out your own hole, you want to make sure to stay directly in the center of the stud. Reason being is you want to protect your wires or your MC cable from the sheetrock, because as they start putting up their sheetrock, you don't want them to drive screws into the stud and drive through your MC cable. So you want to keep your MC cable directly center of the stud, so you knock your hole out center of the stud. So I hope that you find this video, someone can use this information, or you can find this video beneficial. Thanks for watching.